You feel it, don't you? You walk into your apartment at the end of the day, throw your keys on the counter, and there is a silence so loud it almost hurts. You've done everything you were told to do. You worked the job. You tried to be the nice guy. You listened to society when they told you to be soft, to be understanding, to wait your turn. You were told that if you just respected women enough, if you were just a good enough listener, eventually you would be rewarded with loyalty, with love, with that deep, burning desire you see in the movies. But that didn't happen, did it? Instead, you look around and you see a marketplace that feels rigged. You see women giving their absolute best energy, their youth, their wildness, and their submission to men who treat them like options. You see the bad boys, the guys who don't care, getting the surrender you crave, while you, the man who would actually build a life with her, get the games. You get the "I'm not ready right now." You get the "I need space." You get the leftovers. It's humiliating. And it's not just you. This is the silent epidemic of the modern American man. We are living in a time where the connection between men and women has been severed by a culture that lies to us about how attraction actually works. You are confused because you are operating on a manual that was written by people who want you to fail. You are trying to negotiate desire. You are trying to buy attraction with kindness, but desire is not a negotiation. It is not a contract, it is a biological imperative. Here is the brutal truth that might make you want to turn this video off, but I beg you to stay because this is the only thing that will save you. A woman does not want a partner. She wants a master. Now don't get triggered. I'm not talking about slavery. I'm not talking about abuse. I am talking about biology. Deep in her DNA, past the social conditioning, past the boss babe feminism, past the corporate career, there is a primal woman who is exhausted from leading. She is tired of being the man. She craves a force of nature that is stronger than her. She craves a man whose frame is so solid, so unshakable, that she has no choice but to surrender. She doesn't want to give herself to you because you're nice. She wants to give herself to you because she cannot help it. But because you don't know the signs, you are missing the window. You are misinterpreting her tests as rejection. You are walking away when you should be stepping up. Or worse, you are chasing when you should be walking away. Today, we are going deep. We are going to deconstruct the 6 hidden signs that a woman is psychologically, emotionally, and biologically ready to hand you the keys to her soul. This isn't dating advice. This is psychological warfare. Before we get to the signs, we have to understand the battlefield. Look at the data. Marriage rates in the US are tanking. Testosterone levels are dropping. Men are checking out of society in record numbers. Why? Because the game feels unwinnable. You have been told that women are complicated. That is a lie. Women are actually very simple, but they operate on a code that is hidden from you. They speak a language of subtext, of behavior, of contradiction. She will say one thing with her mouth and scream the opposite with her actions. If you continue to listen to what she says, you will lose. If you learn to read what she does, you become dangerous. You become the man who can see the matrix. This channel is dedicated to the men who refuse to live in the dark. We are building a brotherhood of the 1% who understand reality. If you are tired of being confused, if you are tired of the pain of not knowing where you stand, do yourself a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but for your future self. Join us. Don't be the guy on the outside looking in. Now, let's break down the first sign. And this one. This one is the most common, but also the most misunderstood. 1030. Sign number 1. The destruction of the rulebook. Hypergamy in action. Every woman you meet has a rulebook. It is a thick, heavy book of laws that she reads to every man who tries to enter her life. I don't kiss on the first date. I don't go back to a guy's place until the 3rd month. I'm really focusing on my career right now. I'm not looking for anything serious. I don't cook. That's old-fashioned. You hear these rules, and because you are a logical man, you respect them. You think, okay, she has boundaries. I need to wait. Wrong. Here is the secret that women will never admit in public. Rules are for the betas. The rules exist to keep out the men she is not attracted to. The rules are the walls of her fortress. But when the king arrives, when the conqueror shows up, she opens the gates. When a woman truly wants to give herself to you, she breaks her own laws. Think about it. Have you ever known a girl who told you she was too busy to hang out, but then you find out she drove 45 minutes at 2 a.m. to hook up with her ex? That hurts, right? It hurts because it reveals the truth. She wasn't busy. She just wasn't willing to break the rule for you. When she is ready to surrender to you, the logic goes out the window. If she says she needs 8 hours of sleep but stays up until 4 a.m. talking to you on the phone, she is breaking a rule. If she says she never dates guys from work but is constantly finding reasons to be in your office, she is breaking a rule. Why does this happen? It's hypergamy. It's the evolutionary drive to secure the highest status, most dominant male she can find. When her biology detects that you might be that man, her brain overrides her logic. She literally cannot stick to her script because her instinct to secure you is stronger than her instinct to protect herself. If you are constantly hearing about her boundaries, her limitations, and her requirements, understand this. You are in the interview process, and you are failing. But the moment she starts making exceptions, the moment she does something for you that makes her friends say, "Girl, what are you doing? You never do that." That is the first massive flare in the sky. She is clearing the path. She is removing the obstacles. She is signaling that for you, the laws of gravity do not apply. Do not punish her for breaking her rules. Reward her. But understand what it means. It means she sees you as the exception. And in a woman's eyes, being the exception is the only place you want to be. We live in the era of the independent woman. We see it on Instagram, on TikTok, in every movie. I don't need a man. I dress for myself. I make my own money. This is the armor she wears to survive in the modern world. It's a defense mechanism. But it is heavy. It is exhausting for her to carry that shield 24/7. When a woman falls for a man, when she truly wants to give herself to him, she wants to take the armor off. Watch for the shift in where she gets her validation. When she is single or dating guys she doesn't respect, she gets her validation from her girlfriends. She asks them what to wear. She asks them about her life choices. But when she decides you are the prize, she stops asking them and she starts asking you. Do you like this dress on me? I'm thinking about changing my hair. What do you think? I have this problem at work. What would you do? She is not just making conversation. This is a submission test. She is submitting her ego to your judgment. She is saying, I value your opinion more than my own. This is incredibly rare in 2024. A woman asking a man for guidance? That is countercultural. That is anti-feminist. But she does it because her biological wiring is screaming at her that she needs to align with your program. She wants to fit into your world. If you tell her you love women in red, and the next time you see her she's wearing red, she is signaling surrender. She is molding herself to your desire. Many men miss this. They think she's being insecure. They say, babe, wear whatever makes you happy. Stop doing that. You are rejecting her gift. When she asks for your opinion, give it to her. Tell her what you like. Tell her what you don't like. She is handing you the psychological reins. She is asking you to lead. If you refuse to lead, if you try to be equal and let her decide everything, her attraction will wither and die. She wants to know that you have standards and that she can meet them. She wants to earn your approval. 2400. Sign number 3. Radical vulnerability, showing you the monster. This next sign is where things get dark. We are used to the Instagram highlight reel. Women are masters of image management. Filters, angles, lighting. They present a curated version of themselves to the world, the cool girl. The girl who is fun, easygoing, and has no baggage. That girl is a lie. Every woman has a shadow. Every woman has trauma, insecurity, fear, and chaos inside her. It is an ocean of emotion that is constantly crashing against the shores of her mind. For 99% of men, she hides this. She doesn't trust them with her chaos. She thinks if they see the crazy, they will run. So here's the paradox. When she wants to give herself to you, she will show you the ugly. She will cry in front of you, and I don't mean a single tear rolling down her cheek. I mean ugly crying, snot, red face, hyperventilating. She will tell you about her daddy issues. She will tell you about the parts of her body she hates. She will confess the mistakes she made in her past. Why? Why would she risk ruining her perfect image? Because she is testing your frame. She is shaking the cage to see if the bars hold. She needs to know. Is this man strong enough to handle my storm? If she gets emotional and you freak out, if you try to fix it immediately because you're uncomfortable, or if you get angry and leave, you fail. You prove that you are not the rock. You are just another leaf blowing in the wind. But if you stand there, unshakable, if you look her in the eye while she is falling apart and you don't flinch, if you can hold space for her chaos without letting it destroy your peace, then she feels safe. And safety is the prerequisite for surrender. A woman cannot submit to a man she can rattle. If she can trigger you, she can control you. And if she can control you, she cannot respect you. When she shows you her vulnerability, she is actually handing you a weapon. She is giving you the power to hurt her, trusting that you won't. It is a massive display of trust. Do not abuse it, but recognize it for what it is. She is letting you in behind the walls where nobody else is allowed to go. This is the one that gets people canceled. The modern narrative tells women that doing things for a man is slavery. I'm not your mother. I'm not a maid. Get your own sandwich. They have been brainwashed to believe that serving a man is degrading. But biology doesn't care about politics. Biology is undefeated. Deep down, a woman has a nurturing instinct. It is the same instinct that makes her a mother. It is the drive to care for, to feed, to soothe, and to protect the people she loves. When a woman falls in love with a man she perceives as high value, that instinct wakes up from its coma. You will see her start doing things unprompted. She starts fixing your collar before you leave the house. She picks lint off your shirt. She cleans up your coffee table when she's over, just absent-mindedly tidying up your mess. She offers to cook for you. Not because you asked, but because she wants to feed you. She is nesting. She is demonstrating her value as a wife, not just a girlfriend. In the dating marketplace, she knows, subconsciously, that her beauty will fade. She knows that sex is cheap. You can get sex anywhere, so how does she lock you down? By making your life easier. By becoming indispensable. If a woman is only taking from you, taking your money for dinners, taking your time, taking your validation, but never giving acts of service, she is a tourist. She is extracting resources. But a woman who serves? She is investing. She is putting equity into the relationship. She is saying, I am here to build with you. If you see this, acknowledge it. Validate it, because she is fighting against an entire culture telling her not to do it. When she cooks that meal, she is rejecting modern feminism and embracing her feminine nature for you. That is a powerful gift. Watch her body language in a crowded room. When a woman is unsure of a guy, she keeps buffers. She stays in public. She invites her friends along on the date. She keeps physical distance. She is hedging her bets. When she wants to give herself to you, she seeks isolation. She wants to be alone with you, not just for sex, but for existence. She suggests staying in on a Friday night instead of hitting the club. When you are at a party, she separates from the herd and finds her way to your side. She creates a little invisible bubble where it's just you and her against the world. And inside that bubble, pay attention to the silence. With a guy she is nervous about, she will chatter. She will fill the air with noise because silence is awkward. Silence creates tension. But with the man she desires, she gets quiet. She becomes comfortable in the silence. She will sit next to you, maybe touching your arm, leaning her head on your shoulder, and just be. This is proximity comfort. She is feeding off your energy. She doesn't need to be entertained by you. She just needs to be near you. This is a sign of physical surrender. She is lowering her guard. She is letting you into her personal space, which is the most protected territory she has. If she is constantly touching you, grooming you, holding on to you, sitting closer than necessary, she is claiming you. She is telling the world, I belong right here. This is the final sign, the Holy Grail. If you see this, the game is over. You have won. She stops fighting you for control. Relationships today are a power struggle. It's a constant battle of who wears the pants. Women are taught to be leaders, to be aggressive, to lean in, but deep down, that is stressful for her. It causes anxiety. When she finds a man whose competence she trusts completely, she lays down her weapons. She stops trying to drive the car. She hands you the keys. She stops asking, "Where are we going?" and starts saying, "I'm ready whenever you are." She stops planning every detail of the date and just shows up, trusting you have a plan. She stops challenging your decisions and starts supporting your mission. She is moving from competitor to first mate. This is what every man craves: peace. We don't want a second boss at home. We have bosses at work. We fight dragons all day. When we come home, we want peace. We want cooperation. When a woman gives you this, when she stops nagging and starts following, she is placing her entire future in your hands. She is betting her life on your ability to lead. And this is where I have to challenge you, gentlemen. If she surrenders the lead, you have to actually lead. You cannot be indecisive. You cannot say, "I don't know, what do you want to do?" You cannot be weak. If she hands you the crown and you drop it, she will never forgive you. She will pick it back up, put it on her own head, and she will resent you for the rest of the relationship. Leading is a burden. It is a responsibility. But it is the price of admission for having a woman who truly belongs to you. The call to action. Are you ready? So, look at your life. Look at the woman you are dealing with. Is she breaking her rules? Is she seeking your validation? Is she showing you her shadow? Is she serving you? Is she isolating with you? Is she letting you lead? If the answer is no, stop forcing it. You cannot negotiate desire. Walk away and build your value until you attract a woman who does. But if the answer is yes, if you see these signs, then you need to understand the gravity of the situation. She is ready to give herself to you. The question is no longer about her. The question is about you. Are you the man who can handle that surrender? Are you the captain who can steer the ship through the storm? Or are you just a boy who wants a plaything? Because a woman's surrender is a heavy thing to carry. It requires strength, stoicism, and purpose. The world is changing. The old scripts are burning. Men are waking up. You are either going to be a casualty of the modern dating apocalypse, or you are going to be one of the few who build something real in the ruins. The choice is yours. If this video woke something up in you, if you felt the truth of this in your gut, then you know you belong here. We are going deeper down the rabbit hole in the next video. We are going to talk about how to become the man who commands this surrender naturally, without force, without manipulation. Hit the like button if you want the truth. Subscribe if you can handle it. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp.